What, what's going on, guys? See Moody, and I'm back. Now, I don't really have a lot to talk about today. I have one specific topic. I watched the movie last night, and to me, I see a lot more to it than how people hated it. So this is my unpopular opinion on Suicide Squad. Lego. Yeah. Good morning, world. This is C. Moody back again. I always take way too long to start back on podcasting. One day, we're going to get it right. So, like I said, my topic for today is something real simple, but I noticed since this movie came out in 2016, Suicide Squad was a movie supposed to be based on the comics by written and directed by Josh Ayers, and it starred the cast of people like Jared Leto, Will Smith, Viola Davis. Those are the biggest names I could think of off the top of my head. Let's see, other players are, that's a hard name. Margaret Robbie, Jay Henderson, Jai Courtney, Adwal Akinoyor, Cara Delevingne, people like that. But anyway, the basis of the movie was just like there was a terrible event going on, an evil, I guess you would say, literally, because it was the brother of one of the Suicide Squad members, would have been if she didn't go evil, the witch who was married to, in love with or dating. I don't remember if they got that far, but the first soldier of this secret military unit, and the witch went rogue. And so they were about to cause world domination, which of course is any premise of a villain, is to cause world domination or world destruction, however you want to put it. So they assemble this team of the most vicious, violent people. And they make them go on this mission in exchange for lesser sentences or their lives, because they plant a bomb in their neck that if they try to rebel or try to escape or do anything that's not on course with the mission, they'll blow their neck off. Like whatever the dude is who play with the ropes. I don't remember much of the names. But my unpopular opinion is this movie wasn't as bad as people made it. Now, granted, I could probably see where people didn't like it. Like, there's a lot of cheesy lines. Honestly, the whole movie seems like it was rushed and put together, like jumbled together, and like really packed in a lot of stuff to try to help you understand going along. And they had a lot of bad lines, or sometimes bad acting. But I know that a lot of people, when it comes to it, their problem is comparing it to the original thing. And while, of course, you're trying to keep its trueness to the original, if you're ever remaking anything, I understand. But sometimes I think you have to look at it in a different lens, because there's a lot of different things I won't say you have to do now. And nowadays, like back in the day, you have to accept it for what it is. It's not comics where the things could be more fanciful, I guess you would say, or fantasy-like. But nowadays, we have so much CGI and technology and effects like that. But it all costs money. Nonetheless, I feel like, not only do I feel like it wasn't a bad movie, I really feel like if they took the time with these characters and made them all like their original movie, giving them like an origin story. Basically, if they put them in a saga, kind of like Marvel, you probably could have had a better anticipation for this movie to let it be that mission that it just was, and people would kind of have more of a connection to all the characters versus, just the real fans that, have the, comic books and know them from that or from any other maybe TV series if they've ever showed up in. I really think they could have made something big with this DC. Like, they missed out on this opportunity by rushing to put this together. Now, granted, people have a lot more hope because they're supposed to be doing a new Suicide Squad. I'm not totally sure if it's going to be a sequel because I think they're recasting. So I think it's going to be just a whole nother swing at doing Suicide Squad. But this time, instead of Josh Ayers, it's going to be directed by James Gunn. Now, you should be excited for that because James Gunn is the brilliant mind behind the Guardians of the Galaxy saga or trilogy, because it's about to have a third one. And basically, DC scooped him up when he had that stint of being fired from Marvel for something he said a long time ago, and them trying to make themselves look good in the popular eye. And they ended up taking him back, because a lot of the cast, was like, we don't want to do this without him. He's a real decent man, outside of whatever flaw he said way back in the day that doesn't look anything relevant to his character now. And James Gunn was also someone who didn't run from it and try to deny it. He was someone who kind of took it on the head and was like, yeah, this was a part of my life. I can't go back and change it. I'm not that person, but I'm sorry. He took it like a man, and apparently that was enough outside of all the cast members of Guardians of the Galaxy series saying they weren't going to do it without him to reinstate him. But in that time, he got drafted by Suicide Squad, so he has to do that movie before he can jump back onto Marvel and do Guardians of the Galaxy 3. So, I don't know what the casting is. I don't even think they cast it yet. But just that alone sounds like it should be set up to be a really good movie if James Gunn can give that creative freedom that he seemingly has in Marvel. Now, unpopular opinion 2. Jared Leto was a good Joker. Yep, I said it. Yep. Now, let me tell you, he had some horrible lines. Like, the only thing I can remember from watching it last night, was when he finally rescued Harley Quinn and Viola ordered a strike on the helicopter that they were getting away in, blew up the front, and he says, "This bird is cooked." And it was I might not be saying it word for word, but it was such a cheesy line to put right there. And it could have been saved if he put more emotion to it. But I feel like he never he missed out on that opportunity. I feel like he might not have fully invested into that role, but I feel like the areas that he did, I liked it. Like, he felt like a genuine Joker to me. Granted, once again, I know people do this to compare. And I don't remember the Jack Nicholson Joker or the Joker of the cartoons and the comics. Like, I'm not that tight of a fan, at least not with DC. But, I've watched them, but I'm not heavy on them to be like, oh man, he's nothing like Jack Nicholson. Now, granted, he's nothing like Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger, most people who either watched the movie with no other premise of really knowing the other Jokers to compare him to, and the deep fans say that Heath Ledger is probably one of the best Jokers of all time. Probably outside of Jack Nicholson, because I think a lot of people respect Jack Nicholson. And I'm sure he was probably good. But I feel like a lot of things that kind of hurt Jared Leto's role in playing outside of missed opportunities at lines, or probably just bad lines given altogether. Probably could have improvised. They probably would have let it go. But I don't know what they did during the shooting. And he just didn't have that much time. Like, going on to my unpopular opinion, if you were to give Heath Ledger that role in that movie without having the Dark Knight, and this being his first appearance as Joker, the same lines, I feel like people wouldn't have been as invested as they are in Heath Ledger's Joker either. Because you got to think, this wasn't the kind of the dark, estranged Joker that they allowed him to be in The Dark Knight. This was someone who was supposed to be like a modern club owner type persona, like a big shot. It was almost him being blended with a mafia kind of persona, but him being just a crazy person. And when looking at it like that, I feel like he did his role quite nicely. Now, maybe that's not the genuine Joker-esque character that we're looking for, but I feel like for what it's worth, Jared Leto did really good. And I would have loved, granted, like I said, if they would have tried to make this solo, like Joaquin Phoenix is playing the role of the Joker in his own solo film that's coming out this Friday, guys. Check it out. I'm actually looking forward to it myself. It actually seemed to be so good and dramatically impacting that they're already like saying it's too dark, like comparing it to the time where people came to shoot up the movie theaters for like the last Batman that had Heath Ledger's Joker, which I don't see the comparison. But yeah. But like he's a modernized Joker. Like he has a grill, guys. Tattoos on his face. Like this isn't the regular, just crazy, deranged persona. This is like someone who's truly blended into the world and into the nightlife and just happens to be off. So, I don't know. Once again, I just wanted to say, that was my unpopular opinion. This is C. Moody. Suicide Squad wasn't that bad to me. Hope you go out and watch Joker movie this weekend, starring Joaquin Phoenix, who's so far critics have said to say this is a really good movie and he did a really good job. And hopefully we'll see what comes of the Suicide Squad directed under James Gunn. Till next time, guys. C. Moody, God bless. Be easy. I'm out.